Hello everybody, Ace here, giving it to you straight with day 48 of the Video Log Challenge, and today I wanted to talk to you about the process of letting go and how to use it to attract and manifest everything that you desire. Now, I've been struggling this last week. It's been going through the gauntlet, energy's going through crazy. Again, I make these videos a week in advance, so right now today is December 6th or 7th. I believe today is the 6th, and the Schumann's just been off the charts these last 6 days. They were saying how December was going to be intense. They were saying how there's going to be a lot of change, a lot of good stuff, but because there's so much energy being pushed onto the planet right now, it literally feels like we're on a roller coaster, because we kind of are. And what they've been imbuing me with is a better understanding of frequency, vibration, and resonance. The Holy Trinity is what they keep coming to me with, as well as how to gain access to the living kingdom, how to gain access to your higher self, what's the path you travel to get there. And they came to me with yet another piece to this puzzle, and it coincides with this month's focus for me, which is I am working on surrender, acceptance, and letting go. Now, those are three concepts I've been really applying to my life these last couple of years, of course, but where I'm at now is I'm really starting to understand them on a more spiritual, universal level, and not just like a personal level. Oh, I'm surrendering, I'm accepting, I'm letting go, but are we? That's the key. We really need to understand what these three words mean, because they are the path to using the Holy Trinity to stay in the living kingdom. Now, the reason that we want to use the Holy Trinity to not only gain admittance to the kingdom but stay there, because it's all about maintaining resonance through your frequency and vibrations, the frequencies that we hold inside our body, the vibrations we push out into our reality, and then holding that vibration and frequency at a high enough level for a long enough time to actually shift whatever it is you're trying to do in the universe. Because again, time is a real thing in third dimension. Time is a real thing on this planet. And because of that, it takes time for things to manifest. I believe we are 1/617th the size of our original fractal of light. I believe time moves 1/617th the speed of time in the universe. I believe one Earth day is 1,000 years for a human on this planet. And so that's what we're seeing a lot going on right now, with the solar activity, with the planets and everything going on, is we're moving into a new season. We're moving into a new day. We're moving into a new precession for Earth, because Earth's moving her climb to 7D. And that is why we're being forced to come with her, is because just like when she was there last time, we went down into lower dimensions, creating a third dimensional experience for her and all the beings on this planet. Now she's coming back up. She experienced 5D. She never went down to 3D. She created 3D for us. She went down to 5D to experience that density level, played around with it, liked it a little bit, didn't like it so much, and now is coming back to unity and coming back to where the people on this planet, the humans on this planet, will remember who they are, what they are, and why they are here. And again, the way we get to those answers is through using meditation, stopping breathing, asking, listening, trusting what you hear, persistent pace, consistent discipline, and then using the Holy Trinity of vibration, frequency, and resonance to then create heaven on earth for yourself. Because when we're at different stages of this spiritual evolution, we want for different things. In the beginning of this thing, we're like, oh, I want a new car, I want a new thing, I want the secret, right? I want stuff, I want material items, I want a new job, I want a better relationship, I want all these things. But as you keep climbing, or as you keep moving further into your heart to move higher up in consciousness density levels, you will start to begin to see, if not you already see, that those things really don't matter. They'll come. You've already set those intentions long ago. And in reality now, it's honestly surrendering, letting go, and surrendering, accepting, and letting go. And what they kind of imbued me with a better understanding is, and I'll read it right here because I wrote a couple notes, is in order to complete the process of surrender, acceptance, and letting go, we must have trust necessary to let go. That trust begins with us. So what I've been realizing is my light family, my higher self, source, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it, archangels, whatever you want to call it. I believe there are different entities and beings and consciousnesses and all those things, but generally speaking, we are all one. And so when I speak about these things, it's whatever connection to the divine you have. It doesn't matter. It could be literally Joe Pesci, if that's who you pray to or whatever you want to call, because at the end of the day, it's all energy. And in order for us to manifest using the Holy Trinity, we have to raise our frequency, push out higher vibrations, maintain our resonance, and then surrender to that we're doing everything we can, accepting that there's nothing more we could do, and then letting go of needing to think about it, fret about it, worry about it, talk about it, or do any of those things. And the only way to get there is through trust. And the only way you can do that is if you trust what's bigger than you. And the only way you can trust what's bigger than you is through your own trust of yourself, your own trust of what you hear, what you feel, what resonates, all those things. Again, the Holy Trinity, as above, so below, as within, so without. The Holy Trinity is also how we can then decipher the reality we exist in. We use the frequency, the vibes, and the resonance that we feel from the reality around us to make better choices, to make best decisions. Do I stay? Do I leave? I have a bad feeling about this. I don't like it. This person's giving me bad vibes. I trust it. The more we trust ourselves and how we feel and what we resonate with, the further we'll get on our spiritual journey, the less suffering we'll have to go through to grow and learn. And then that is where we enter the living kingdom. And through maintaining through those choices and decisions and actions, right? But I talked about yesterday or 2 days ago, through those decisions, those actions, and things like that is how you continue to maintain that resonance. And the only way that you can continue to maintain the resonance, stay in the kingdom and not fall from grace. Because to me, the fall from grace is literally just when you start freaking out, you get into your ego and you bring yourself out of that high vibration, that high frequency, and your resonance drops below the 5D threshold, 6D threshold. And from there, then you go back into separation, you go back into materialism, you go back into ego and fear and all those things that are meant to take us down and keep us in a fear state so that they can feed off of our negative energy. I don't believe that there are much negative energies here on the planet now. I believe there are a lot more, what did my buddy Sean call them? Egregors. I believe that there's not so much external negative energy and entities and all that now. I think it's just all what's left inside our consciousness, what's left inside our lives from not just this life, but from lives past. We're having to work through all that stuff. And the more you work through that trauma, the more light you can bring into your body. And then from there is when you can continue to raise your frequency, continue to push out higher vibes, and then continue to maintain that resonance of the living kingdom. The next stage of my being human framework is self-trust. So the first 4 phases of the being human framework were self-acceptance, self-awareness, self-acceptance, self-care, and self-love, correct? Now, the next stage in that to elevate yourself, to start working with the Holy Trinity, start gaining admittance into the living kingdom is through self-trust. Sorry, fly. And with self-trust, is how we continue to make the right decisions, to choose the right choices, and to move forward on our path and to trust our path that was been given to us by God, has been given to us by ourselves, the one that we wrote for ourselves. The more that we clear this temple, the more we use the Holy Trinity, and the more that we keep our resonance high, the more we'll be able to manifest heaven on earth, not just for us, but for everybody, because we're always co-creating. And so something I ran into yesterday was I was told to put on a mask again in an outrigger store. Doesn't make any sense. And I didn't handle it the best, but I didn't handle it like I did in the past, so I handled it better. Next time I would like to use more love. I kind of used guilt, and I got a little aggressive because it was a triggering event. You know, I'm a veteran PTSD, and being told to put on a mask, it triggers me, and it makes me, it freaks me out. And when I'm being told that it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter if you have a condition, it doesn't matter if you have to put on this mask. It really brings me into my human. And I become a warrior again. I become a crusader. And what I'm realizing is that in this life, I'm having to put my sword and shield down, even though I was Marine, even though I've trained with machine guns and M16s and grenades and all that stuff. You know, I've done all that training. I fought Muay Thai. I did all this stuff, right? But in reality, what this life's all about is putting my sword and shield down and picking up light and picking up love. And that was an opportunity for me to bring this woman who was attacking me into my heart and maybe transmute some of her darkness, because she was completely on a power trip. And instead I guilt tripped her, which could have been effective. I have to admit that sometimes you also have to trust that how you handle a situation is how it needed to be handled. And we can talk hindsight 2020 all day. But how you handle a situation, if you went about it to the best of your ability, that's good enough, you know. And you don't know if the universe is working through you to teach other people lessons. And so you also have to be careful with that. If you're going to judge yourself for how you behave or act in a situation that you may have had almost an out-of-body experience having, maybe it wasn't you that was doing it. Maybe it was God working through you. Something to think about. In order to manifest using the Holy Trinity, resonance must be maintained through letting go and trusting it will come. This has been the hardest part for me. I'm at like the last leg of this journey, and finish lines have always been the hardest part for me. I've always let up off the pedal, I feel, at the end of things. School semesters, PFTs in the Marine Corps, things like that. I tend to get disheartened at the end for some reason. I guess I just don't like things ending. And then I like new beginnings, but I guess I don't like things ending. And so that's a whole nother thing I get to explore and root, right? And so now we're at the end of this cycle. We're at the end of this season. We're moving into a new season of 2021. I believe it's the spring. I believe winter has ended. I'm not physically, obviously, on the planet, but I really do believe that we're at a point where a new season's coming, new abundance is coming, new opportunities, new careers, new paths, new mindsets, new emotions, new everything. And I have to trust that. And I have to let go of fretting about it, because again, we can become sloppy manifestors when we actually start thinking and fretting and worrying about the things we're trying to manifest. We start to throw mixed signals to the universe. To stay in the living kingdom, we must trust the path laid out by God and let go of needing it to be anything more or less, and trust that we're doing everything needed to move forward where we're needing to go. That's really big for me. That's the pure trust right there, is that definition. I'm going to read it again. To stay in the living kingdom, we must trust the path laid out by God and let go of needing it to be anything more or less, and trust that we're doing everything needed to move forward where we're needing to go. That's trust in a nutshell. There's nothing really more you could talk about trust. It's not an action. It's a surrender. Really, trust is just an acceptance. Trust is a surrender. Trust is this is bigger than me. I don't have control of anything outside myself. So I'm going to maintain my frequency. I'm going to maintain pushing out good vibes, and I'm going to maintain my resonance so that I gain admittance and stay in the living kingdom. And that means that through that frequency that I exist on, I can attract more and more and more, and I can push more and more love and light and my gifts and helping people back into the world, as below, as above, so below. And because of that, I use this theory called selfishly selfless, where we take care of our needs first, we take care of what we need first, and then from there we'll be able to feed so many other people with our wisdom, our time, our attention, whatever it is that we desire. And that, to me, is why self-trust is the next stage in the Being Human framework. And the point of the Holy Trinity is you have to trust that you're doing everything you need to do for yourself. You have to trust that you are on the timeline that you need to be on, that there's nothing more you can be, there's nothing more you can do, there's nothing more you can say, there's nothing more you can achieve, accomplish, gain, attain, maintain, build, that'll make you any further on this path than where you are at this very moment that you're listening to me say these words. That is all. That is the Holy Trinity. That is awakening. That is ascension. And guess what? It's hard as shit. I've been struggling so hard. Oh, the last 5 days. I was blissed out for 2 weeks. I think it was the universe was going, yeah, just enjoy this time, because it is calming. And I think that 2021 is going to be a little rough in the beginning. I know January is just going to be as intense. I think it's going to get a little easier, because I think we're going to gain more faculties to let go, to surrender, and to accept whatever it is coming. And then as the months move on to 2021, I think things are going to clear out a little bit. We're going to clear more darkness. We're going to clear more shadow. And then by the end of 2021, it's just going to be a beautiful harvest. And I think that our country is really going to start coming back together again. So I just really wanted to jump on and say that. I'm really proud of all of you. I'm very grateful that I get to share these messages with you, because I'm going through it with you. I'm literally channeling these messages and then watching them back and going, yes, I need to be listening to that. Yes, I need to be doing that. And so I'm not above you. I'm not below you. We're all on the same path. We're all on the same page. We're all on the same level. We just are unique frequencies of God, figuring out who we are, what we are, why we're here, and then embracing that and trusting it and letting it go. So if you liked what you've seen and heard today, hit that like button. If you want to join the Army of Energy, hit that subscribe button. Hit me up on Gmail at damahwolf@gmail.com. If you want to support my work, I got my PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo links below. It'd go a very long way. I'd be very, very grateful to you. I'm on day 35, I think, of Hemisync and Dirt. On Hemisync today, or yesterday and today, we hit Focus 15 for the first time, which pushes you into a state of consciousness where there's no time, and it's really peaceful, and you're blissed out, and I can really gain a lot of answers to the questions I have. I can convene with my light family. I can convene with my higher self. So if you haven't tried the Hemisync yet, I really suggest doing it. If you want the first entire 7 CD series, just hit me up on Gmail and I'll give you access to it. I really believe it's life-changing. I just want as many people to try it as possible. Dirt, I mean, I got my dad on it. My mom's starting it in in a week or two. He's feeling better. I'm feeling great. I couldn't have asked for anything more. I'm actually eating less and healing faster. And because I'm healing less, I'm not having to buy as much food. I don't have to buy as many supplements. So it's actually saving me money with a little bit of an investment up front. You invest in your health, and that creates your wealth and your freedom. And so with that, I hope you get a little bit further on your journey today. I hope you gain a little bit more clarity on your path. I hope you can bring a little bit more love into your heart so that you can trust the fact that you're on the right path, that you're doing everything you're doing, and that there's nothing you can be, there's nothing you can say, and there's nothing you can think that will get you any further than where you are. Accept that, let that go, trust that, and create some freedom in your life, because it's time we raise our consciousness as the Army of Energy, Warriors of Light, and just make this happen. Let's just make this happen. I'm making it happen. And if you're watching these videos, I think you're making it happen too. I'm really proud of you. So with that, I hope you have a wonderful day, a great afternoon, and even better evening. And I will see you at the same time tomorrow. Take care. Goodbye.